early light, what so proudly we hailed, at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Rod, face.
Watch the drums. Pistol boy set. By the right, quick, move!
Forward.
Dr. Augustine is the Chief Medical Officer for the North Collier Fire Control Rescue District and also Assistant Medical Director for the Greater Naples Fire Control and Rescue District. Dr. Augustine began his career as a firefighter EMT with the Washington Township Fire Department just outside of Dayton, Ohio, where he attended medical school at Wright State University. He is board certified emergency medicine physician and has the honor of being considered an Eagle, a prestigious designation given to a group of physicians considered to be the top medical directors in the country. Dr. Augustine is also the medical director for the International Association of Fire Chiefs, having provided the organization critical guidance and direction during the COVID-19 pandemic. Please join me in welcoming Dr. James Augustine.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to beautiful southwestern Florida, to Naples, and I have the honor and pleasure of serving with North Collier Fire Control and Rescue District. We have a great set of people outside helping you and inside helping you in putting this program together. Thanks to all who have contributed to that. As we look upon the last 2.5 years, we have clearly been at the tip of the spear in how we served our members, served our communities, served our country and the rest of the world. In my role with the International Association of Fire Chiefs, we took upon a leadership responsibility early on to take what information was available and make it into action plans at a time when there wasn't science and there wasn't experience to drive what we do. As we have worked through the last 2.5 years, we realize that is the beauty of our service. We know how to take events where there's not predictable outcomes, there's not a lot of science to drive what we do, where we develop cooperative plans and use principles like incident control, incident management, mutual aid, and sharing of best practices. Has that come to benefit our communities and our members over the last 2.5 years? It certainly has. We have been serving our communities in novel ways that we never thought would be part of the fire service. And in our district, we did testing, we did treatments, we did vaccination programs, we had a blood drive disguised as an antigen testing event, and many other things that went on in your communities. And very honestly, I'm very proud to be part of Florida, where a lot of innovative programs were developed and then shared with the rest of the nation. Our work is not done yet. We still have a pandemic to deal with. Let's not let this be a super spreader event, please. And as we move forward, realizing this week we have the 988 system coming into place, you know that we're going to be involved in 988 responses. And many of you have already been developing the nidus of responses to mental health and substance abuse programs in your community. We have much more work to do in that arena. For all of you at the Eagles, a month ago now, at the Eagles, we discussed new threats to our fire service, to our nation, and to the world. And we very honestly have a time where the healthcare system is going to be revamped and revised, and they're going to count on us again to develop programs that work with them in the pre-hospital environment, bringing viable patients to the healthcare system to deliver stroke care and heart attack care and trauma care and burn care and other things that we do very well. What the healthcare system has to learn from the fire service is prevention. Because if there's an industry that has led the world in prevention, it is the fire industry. And so with that work ahead and with the opportunity at this session, we also have to recognize the importance of our workforce. And as I look at this stage here, when you think about the guy or gal who's usually in this position, and the guy or gal who's usually in this position, and then the guys or gals who sit in these positions in the back of the apparatus, you recognize that we have the most talented, educated workforce that we have ever had in the industry. And we need to take advantage of that to develop the next programs we need. That is our opportunity with this meeting. That is our opportunity working with each other, and I look forward to doing that with all of you. Thank you very much.
Sheriff Rambaugh's past experience as Chief of Police and Emergency Services and City Manager for the City of Naples, as well as 19 years with the Collier County Sheriff's Office, including 13 years as Sheriff, has propelled Collier County to be one of the safest counties in Florida. A graduate of the FBI National Academy and holding a master's degree in business administration, Sheriff Rambaugh is a mentor for cooperation and collaboration. Under his leadership, local fire agencies work in partnership with the Collier County Sheriff's Office to deliver more efficient response to the residents and visitors to Naples and surrounding Collier County. This community is truly fortunate to have Sheriff Rambaugh as a public servant. Please join me in welcoming Sheriff Rambaugh to the FFCA Executive Development Conference stage.
Good morning, everybody. Morning. All right, that's what I like to hear. If you can't remember Rambaugh, just remember Rambo. Now, I'm the furthest thing away from that you can possibly imagine. You can just ask any of our people. Thank you for being here. We certainly welcome you to Collier County and Naples, Florida. This is a great hotel. You will have a terrific time. We have a lot of our events here. And thanks for giving me an opportunity to be here this morning with you for a couple of minutes. You know, over the years, I grew a family and I had two sons, and my youngest came up to me one day and said, you know, I'd like to serve the community like you do. So I felt like, wow, you know, I must be a pretty good role model, you know, for that to occur. And I said, that's terrific, son. I said, what is it that you exactly want to do? I want to be in the fire service. And I said, what? Where the heck did I go wrong? So he is a firefighter with the City of Naples Fire Rescue Service. So a couple of thank yous. First to you for all the service that you give throughout the state of Florida. It's absolutely essential, not only from where we've been, but where we're going, and I'm going to touch a little bit on that today. I want to recognize Second Vice President Mike Choate. Please thank him, and if you need anything, just go to him, and he can take care of that for you. All of our chiefs are absolutely terrific. We're going to talk a little bit about collaboration. And you know, when I was public safety director in the city of Naples, I learned about everything I could learn about the fire service from Chief Pete DeMaria. So I don't know whether he's here, but I certainly want to thank him for everything he's done for me. You know, we would have never thought that there would be assaults on firefighters who are responding to calls for service. We never thought that we would all be called upon into active shooter service, and how to not only to stop the threat, but to go in and extract and provide first aid to those who need it. Because that is a huge change historically, particularly on the side of law enforcement. And then, of course, as the doctor said, we face this thing called the pandemic. So in the last 2 years, we were not able to have our memorial. And we had one this year, and I took a part of that to just give you today, because I think it's very relative to all of us. And each year we have all of our fire chiefs that attend to support us, and we really appreciate that. So what we said was, you know, we've had these challenges throughout public safety. While many people in this country and the world work from home, we didn't have that option. Whether it be oath, whether it be creed, whether it be code of ethics, first responders always put themselves at risk because we have a duty and a commitment no matter what. And I even mentioned at that time, you know, and this is a little older information, but 123 firefighters and 56 EMS gave their lives during the pandemic. And even this year, 58 so far this year firefighters have died in the service of their communities. And that is a lot to give. And certainly we as law enforcement want to recognize you for doing that. In public safety, I always thought we were supposed to provide the best public service and best public safety possible to our community. What I found when I got here is we all had a good relationship, but we just didn't work all that well together. We'd go to the emergency, we'd take care of it, but when it came time for the administration things, many of my peers want to control everything. Right? All right, you don't have to say it. I already know it. So that is not where I've come from. I did so much volunteer service in public safety throughout my life. When I got a chance to work in the city of Naples and become the sheriff, I made a commitment to our fire rescue and EMS staff that we were going to build the best public safety we could together for the residents of Collier County. And we looked at creating a public safety chiefs organization. And you might say, well, you know, that's really good. Why did you do that? Because at the time there was a threat to take over the fire service. And there were residents in town that were saying, we don't need all of these different organizations. So we banded together and we showed them why we needed all of our organizations and the benefits that it provided. We committed to build an advanced 911 emergency communication system. We were running it to begin with, but you know, we would do everything for law enforcement and then we'd say, oh, you know, we're just going to dispatch fire. Okay, that's great. Well, if we weren't doing something that you didn't like, historically, some of the comments I heard was, well, it's our system, we'll do what we want for you. That's not the way it works. So 10 years ago, we put together a group, we built an advanced 911 system, and think back 10 years ago, we wanted to stream video, we wanted to stream photos, we wanted to do mapping, we wanted to do text to 911, when none of that was even out there. But we built a system that would do that, and quite frankly, we were the first in the state of Florida to do text to 911. And we're able to do all those other elements, even pulse point, locution, hip length, a lot of those things that you already know. We're one of 6 agencies in the nation to partner with Google to look at a pilot program for device-based locations. That was in 2018. We've done very well with that. Many of you know Rapid SOS. That was what was in place at the time. We have partnered and taken on mental health. We trained over 1,600 law enforcement, fire rescue, and EMS paramedics in 40-hour Memphis model crisis intervention training. When we talked with the fire service and said, listen, this would be not only a good thing for law enforcement, but you respond as well. And they made a commitment, and they've started that process. Of course, the most important point is active shooter and hostile event response. And FPA 3000, we started this 5 years ago. We contacted and contracted with a company called DECO. And have any of you heard of Black Hawk Down? Our trainer was in that scenario. And in fact, he's mentioned in the movie. Lieutenant Tom DiTomaso, Google him and Black Hawk Down, and you'll find him. And he's who we got to come here and start teaching us all, law enforcement, fire rescue, and EMS, what we need as far as policies and procedures, how we need to respond, and what equipment we're going to need. If you would have ever told me that we were going to put ballistic vests on fire apparatus, I would have told you you were nuts. Yet today, unfortunately, we've gotten to that point. So we have 6 Type 3 incident management teams. That's countywide. And you know, of course, we thought we knew everything about everything. But when we realized how well you train with incidents, we went and hired a retired fire chief from Collier County, and we worked with all of our chiefs to put in incident management teams, and we followed that to the T. And I'm going to tell you, and you already know this, it has made us the best we've ever been with regard to operations. So we thank you for that. I'll leave you with this. When we get in trouble, and when we get in trouble, it's usually bad trouble. Somebody's hurt, we've hurt somebody, you know who we call. We call fire rescue. Thank you.
Chief Ricardo's history with North Collier Fire began more than 2 decades ago as a firefighter. In his current role as fire chief since 2019, Chief Ricardo quickly gained an in-depth understanding of the importance of adapting to changing environments and facing obstacles head-on. COVID-19 was one such obstacle. With strong team building and clear defined goals, Chief Ricardo guided his district through the pandemic while working with other local agencies to establish a vaccination program that served more than 18,000 individuals. Hailing originally from New York State and then Miami since his youth, Ricardo's experience as a public servant expands well beyond the confines of North Collier Fire. Embracing a strong sense of community, Chief Ricardo volunteers as an assistant football coach at Gulf Coast High School since 2011, leading the school to the first district championship in 2017. This engagement with his community's youth inspired Ricardo to create the Helmet to Heroes program that mentors area high school football players interested in fire, EMS, and law enforcement to realize careers as first responders. The program has already graduated students from both firefighter and EMT academies. Chief Ricardo's dedication to public service is exemplified in his mission to prioritize the well-being of the community he serves. It is great pleasure that I welcome Fire Chief Collier Ricardo.
Some claim we are heroes. That's not for us to say. We are grounded in the pride and honor of our profession, driving us every day to protect the lives and property of those we serve. This is who we are. Since 1961, we've safeguarded our coastlines, cities, and rural lands as an all-hazards response agency. We've been there for our community through natural disasters and unseen threats. We've delivered life-saving medical care to those in need. We've fought our share of fires that destroyed the homes and businesses of our neighbors. We're trained to face dangers and take the risks others won't. Through this all, we've come together with our community to become stronger, resolute, resilient, resourceful. North Collier Fire Rescue. This is who we are.
Welcome to Naples. I'm thinking now with all the speakers and we were supposed to give names to speakers. I don't know how I beat the last two speakers, but I will tell you, every success that we have in our district, everything that we've done, has been by the team that surrounds me every day. Becoming the fire chief right before the COVID pandemic really made me second ahead at that time. But I was trained, I was given the opportunity from a long line of tradition in our district of education supporting to step up to the challenge, and so many others that have come and moved up. My command staff is here, the district staff is helping. When we were told the executive conference was coming, we said we would step up and we would assist, and this is your home. So I want to share one thing with you that was ringing into me. I said, what am I going to talk about? Everybody here has known me. Some of the people that are in this room have seen me grow up since I was 22 years old. From one field or another, you've seen me around the state. When I was part of the Florida Professional Firefighters, or even in other conferences, they have seen me grow into this position. In fact, some people say, how did that happen? I'll tell you how it happened. The district, the fire department, the men and women that worked there, they were always the number one motivator for me. Protecting them so they can protect the community. I'm here to tell you that we've gotten challenge coins. We all know our traditional challenge coins, their side. We know what they mean. Some people know the tradition at the bar. Some people know the tradition of just collecting them. Remember the challenge coin today. The challenge coin today in your bag. I want you to focus on what I'm about to say. Remember that it's a challenge to be better. A challenge to motivate inside your organization for people to step up and get into the positions that we need. We are going through a difficult time in the recruitment side. This is statewide. It has nothing to do with people not wanting to be in the fire service. It has to do with the fact that we hired everybody at the same time in pockets, going back in history. They're all retiring. They're all retiring. Then here we have COVID, and we have people that decided, hey, I'm gonna stay a little longer, but no, I need to enjoy life. I might move on. We also started talking about mental health, which we didn't talk about before. And look at the mental health aspect. Is the person, is that employee ready for retirement? Is they ready to go into a life where they think their family is gone and now they're just by themselves? Because retirement is great from all aspects they're telling me, retirement's great. It seems like vacation, 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 till you go get coffee at the firehouse and you don't recognize anybody. Well, in our organization, we created breakfast with the retirees. We bring those guys back. I feel like I'm still a kid. I gotta pick up the coffee cups, the plates, this, that. All the jokes starts happening, but they're connected to our organization still. Then those moves right there, invest in your people, challenge yourself to invest in your organization, and the proceeds and the rewards will be great. Your legacy will be left long before you, as soon as it will last longer. People may not recognize it, but you know that you did good, you know that you led, and that's what we need. We need to lead. We have to lead. We can't sit back using just data. Data is used to give decisions, but people are not data. So with that, I welcome you again. Enjoy the classes. Take advantage of this organization. I've never been more prouder of saying that the Florida Fire Chiefs Association has changed, even in my career, has changed in the way it works in so many aspects in leading and giving opportunity. These educational classes are for us to take advantage. I hope you guys come back to Naples. I hope we have to get more, a bigger venue because we start bringing more people. But I commit to you that as long as we're here, this district will continue to support the Florida Fire Chiefs and its endeavor to create leaders. Thank you.